And we are live with Crone's Crucible. However, we have a lot of challenges tonight from all kinds of quadrants. We've got Lynn, who was at Comic-Con, who is frantically trying to get home, but she is not home yet. We've got people who have had all kinds of problems and can't be on camera. I'm not on camera at the moment, but I will be later. I had surgery this week on my ankle, so I'm a little bit under the weather as well. But we are doing the best we can, and in a little bit we'll go beyond the pictures and actually have people that you can see, hopefully, because this being the big episode, I hope we have as many faces showing their alarm or excitement or whatever that's going on that we can. And it looks like I've got a little bit of static coming over from the fan that's over my head. Hopefully it isn't bothering people too much. And
I can't hear it.
Okay, good.
Somebody unsheathed a holy sword slightly too close to me today. I look slightly like a lobster. So
Don't worry. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, he did that down
I am beat physically and mentally. I will do my best.
You made choices.
Anyway, we have a kind of bedraggled crew tonight, and we're trying our best because this may be the big episode. They certainly have acquired the target tonight. Strahd is in sight. What you see here on the screen is what they entered into when they entered into the tomb area, which Sergei did recognize. He remembered a lot of these tombs as being unoccupied. They are like pillars that hold up a repeatedly vaulted ceiling. And they were empty tombs there for later residents, for possibly servants or something like this, is about all Sergei would remember. And he knew that the main tombs for the von Zarevich family were in these major alcoves to the sides. So they entered in, and what they found were all these catacombs. And all over the place there's cobwebs hanging from everything. It's pretty eerie. As they stepped into the area, the ground or granite or whatever under their feet squished. They were stepping into a couple of inches of something very slimy that was underfoot. And as they looked around and looked up, the dark recesses of the ceiling, vaulted 10-foot vaults of the ceiling above them, are actually moving as if there's a sway or swing to it. It's almost a seesaw feel as you look up at the top of the ceiling. Let me take just a moment and see if I can at least get my video up, which will go away, because I tend to talk with my hands, and when I'm not on the screen, people cannot see what I'm talking. Yeah, I'm not in the right place, so give me a moment. If that is black, let's see. Okay, found me. Let me get me blown up, boom, so that it fills the box, and we'll just say. Okay, now I can talk with my hands. There. Now when I describe vaulted ceilings like this, people can actually see that I'm describing vaulted ceilings like this. All right, so you have this eerie, echoing sound, and they turned around and with various senses that they had, they were able to detect Strahd's presence to the north of them. And when they looked around to the north of where they are, they spotted a tomb area down in, you went down about 10 feet into what appeared kind of like this. The tomb itself was very dramatically lit. There were candles lit beside it, and behind it were 3 alcoves. The middle one with an almost angelic-looking, very handsome young man that bore a striking resemblance to Vlad. And on either side of the alcove with Vlad standing in it, I'll call him Vlad for now, were statues of angels, like lifting their hands out and offering gifts towards Sergei, as you can imagine that it was in it. And behind this tomb was Strahd, who was in a fit of rage. He had moved the top of the tomb off and was looking into it. The rest of the group couldn't see what was in it because the top blocked what they could see. But he was looking in, and he was basically raging at what you could assume would be Sergei's body in the tomb. And that was the point at which they started acting. They had a portcullis that was down that all of their attempts was unable to lift. And so Vlad/Sergei used a spell to burrow through the rock on the side of the portcullis, and he was able to get them an opening so that they could actually get in. And this is the battle map of what we're using. I have altered it slightly so we have a little better idea of where these shades of various things of light are coming from. The wolf is giving off a light spell between its teeth kind of thing. If POTUS has the sunblade out, I currently have it set, I think, on 30 feet. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it should be 5, but we'll go with that.
I just set it there for now. We can shrink it if we need to. And then overall, Vlad threw in a coin that had a spell on it for sunlight, and the spell is sitting, the coin is sitting in front of the tomb, right where Strahd is hiding, right here at the thing here. So everything in that area is pretty well in light. The problem is, and let me do something here, when I do this so the audience can see what's going on, the light cannot strike Strahd where he is because the tomb is protecting him from the sunlight that's coming from this coin and is on the floor. So this was the situation we had. Now Strahd had used his Children of the Night ability and had summoned a bunch of rats and bats, swarms of these things that had come in and had been attacking. And then he's got one more action that he will be able to do on his turn. So he will, at this point, I believe, activate his mist form, because he's going to do it and try to move as far as he can out. So Strahd shifts to mist form. Let me get his picture altered.
I also can't really see a whole lot. There's a lot of black on my screen.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think that's the point.
That's the point. You are in a small tomb area, and you don't need to see all the tombs that are outside away from you. All you need to see is there's a black area right beside you, which is the big Sergei's tomb, big pillared.
Maybe I'm not. I think I have to restart the thing then, because I can't see anything, not even my character.
Yeah,
That was the concern.
Try restarting, because you should be able to see. I'll double check your settings, make sure it's got your site. Yeah, it does. Okay, so Lynn and Monarch were outside. They got attacked from behind by some bats. Victor, in his wolf form, is right by the opening where he can go into the tomb if he chooses. Emil, who has been with the party, was rescued out of the cells, is at the moment is hiding back around the corner. He is staying out of the fight for now, and I will remind the players that he has to be very cautious about when he enters the fight because he has an agreement. And as Zulika told you, they will not hinder you, but they have to be very careful when and where and how they...
Yeah, Lynn had mentioned an idea to me. Had she approached you about it?
I'm not, and that we might give him a task, but I'm not really ready to do that yet.
Okay, we're just thinking, okay.
So this was basically where we were. So you now have Strahd in front of you, Derek, in mist form. You'll see a purple swirly mist thing in front of you. Let me zoom in a bit so the audience can see this a bit better.
Yeah, I can see now. Maybe I just wasn't on the right part of it. Maybe I was like too low or like too far down on the page.
Sometimes it doesn't load properly. I know there are times I have to reload the page because I just get a black, which of course the ends don't get a black. But you have two swarms of rats and one swarm of bats behind you, a misty Strahd in front of you. Aragorn is down here surrounded by bats, and Vlad is at the opening also next to the bats. And so Strahd will move his 30 feet, which he basically can fly in this form. So he will immediately step in and take 20 daylight damage. It does not stack with overlapping. Let me see where. Yeah, he would be right in the midst there with Aragorn. And the mist would pause and swirl around Aragorn for a moment, and you would see Aragorn jerk and start like something has startled him. And so at that point, we take up, let me put the turn order back on the screen. I remind the players that if we go to other levels, you will not be able to see the turn order. I can, and I will let you know what is up.
Lynn is about to hop in.
I know.
All right. And do I get an attack of opportunity or no?
No.
Since he moved away from me?
In mist form, he's immune.
Just wanted to make sure.
He's immune to attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
So, it is Epotus's turn at last. We start off the night with his effects.
Well, this changes things because he got an action. You know what? Screw it. Is this the mist right here? This him?
The purpley mist, yeah, that's kind of on top of Aragorn and between the bats. That's it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's
Okay.
okay.
Epotus is going to step right in front of it and cast Compelled Duel on him. As a bonus action, I attempt to compel a creature into a duel. One creature I can see within range must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is drawn to me, compelled by divine demand. It has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than me, and must make a wisdom save each time it attempts to move to a space more than 30 feet from you. If it succeeds, the spell still continues, but for this turn, it's not restricted to move away from me. If any other creature attacks it, the spell ends, but yeah.
Okay, and I've got to
Slow
get,
down.
I'm going to look at one of Okay. All right. So it is a wisdom save, and your DC is
18.
all right. See, I've got to see what category this comes under. All right. He chooses to re-roll it as a legendary action.
Oh, okay. A
That's well
legendary.
spent.
Yeah, a legendary action. He just automatically succeeds, but he spends it. So.
That's one down.
That's
one down.
One of
That's
those,
one down.
anyway. He has two different, I will tell you straight up, he has two different kinds of legendary actions.
And then I'm going to cast Booming Blade. So I have to do an attack roll with the
And
Ascend Blade.
Lynn, we're not doing that right now. We might do it later.
Presumably he counts as undead.
Yes.
Okay. So just the first attack roll. So does an 18 hit him?
And I'm trying to get all of the things he's got layered on top of him to make sure I know what can and can't hit him. It's a magical blade, so that doesn't apply. And he is 16, and you rolled an 18 or 23. I didn't get if you had an advantage.
I rolled an 18. I don't have advantage.
All right. Yeah, it did hit, and I've also
Yes,
got to
23.
take his 20 points off.
Okay, I'm going to spend a 4th level spell slot to blow a Divine Smite. So, total damage.
Damn.
I've gotten through the 23, so now I need to add the 27.
So it's 50 total radiant damage, and then 2 lightning damage. So 52 from the initial hit, and then if he moves, he takes another 7 lightning damage.
Okay, but I've already taken some of it off, so I'm taking off the last 2, which is 27. As you hit him, you feel first the castle begin to reverberate. It vibrates under your feet, and if you have a hand setting against a wall, you feel a vibration in the walls itself, and you hear
Heartbeat?
yes. It goes for a few moments, and you get the feeling that Strahd, in spite of the sunlight, something has happened, and he is not as damaged as he was, in spite of the sunlight.
Neat. I believe that is all I can do. Yeah. Okay, that's all I can do.
Strahd has invoked his legendary action, Doki Doki Power.
Alright, and back we go over here.
There seems to be something missing from the initiative order.
Because I put you on the, that's right. I'm trying, hang on, let me use this guy. The wolf and you is the problem. You're there, you're on the GM layer, and I try to do this and it just winds up being trouble. There, your 18 is back again. You actually are showing there to me, you just aren't showing to you. All right. So we now are at Emil, and he has shifted into his werewolf form, and he is like crouching. He looks like what he will probably do. He's moved up and he's crouching in case Strahd comes out and he finds an opportunity where he can attack without in some way breaking his oath. So we'll jump then to Sergei.
So first, a question about specifics. You said that Strahd is technically occupying the same space as Aragorn. How big is this cloud of mist?
I believe the cloud of mist is like a 5 foot, but let me double check and see if it specifies. It's kind of amorphous, and it's not. Let's see what. It doesn't say. It says it's a medium cloud of mist, so that would be a 5 foot cube.
I'm going for it. Sergei is going to yell out, Aragorn, duck! Does he duck?
Coming from you, he has disadvantage.
He's a fire in his laser.
Wop wop wop.
Yeah, coming from Sergei, it would be a real issue. I'm gonna roll crossbow. Just use that for his. See what he does here. Actually, he decided to do it this time. Luckily, he does duck.
I am going to walk over to Aragorn's space, tap the ground at his feet, and cast Stone Shape to make a 5 foot box, encapsulating both Aragorn and Strahd. I just thought of this. And I'm hoping it works. I'm going to...
I mean, if it's airtight.
Can the box float? Because he is flying.
That's why I was asking if he was occupying his space, because if it's up above...
He's like, at Aragorn's head, kind of wrapped around it.
Can Stone Shape make, like walls from floor to ceiling and seal them in the box
only
like
a
that?
5 foot area. I thought he was, in the same...
He flew up over Sergei's tomb, and he flew down past Aragorn, which is as far as he could get. And there was, some kind of something went on there that kind of startled Aragorn, but he is still flying.
Okay, so in that case, would it be possible for me to not do that?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I am just going to cast Blindness and Deafness on Strahd. So you have to make a DC 19 Constitution saving throw, or be blinded
in this form,
from it.
He has advantage on con saves, so let's see what he gets. 24.
We'll beat it. Yeah. That was my action. I don't have anything I can do as a bonus action, so my turn.
All right, so we're up to Victor. Victor the Wolf.
All right. So I'm going to kind of charge in here, and shoop de whoop, I'm a firing my laser. So Strahd is the primary target, obviously, but I think I can maybe line it up so it also hits somewhere between 1 and 3 swarms here. It's hard for me to line it up with the line of sight, so I'll just leave it to you to tell me whether that's possible to get that in the line.
Are you doing Moonbeam?
No, I'm firing off my Sunbeam, which I have on my concentration.
All right. Will that, because sunlight upon sunlight is not stackable. You've got 3 sunlights here, but they're not stacking.
Yeah, it does active radiant damage on top of the sunlight.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But anyway, and I drew the AoE. It should still be in the kind of void between walls for you to reference. It's pretty big.
Yeah, you're the yellow. Let's see, which are you? You're the.
It's like brown. There should be like a rectangle with text that says Sunbeam AoE. Unless
yeah.
you
Oh,
delete
that.
it.
Yeah, I see it, but I'm also trying to. So, does it extend forward in a ray?
Yeah, it's a beam that extends from me to the full length or until it hits like a wall or something.
Yeah, it's a damage.
So I'm mainly hitting Strahd, but if possible, I'd also like to hit like 1 to 3 swarms behind him, which I think may line up well. In any case, I'm going to roll it. All right, it's a damage roll, but they have to roll con saves.
What I'm doing is I'm trying to put that over because it might hit Erigal too. Aw.
It's like I said, Ariel is about to get the best suntan of his goddamn life.
How's that?
The little macro here is missing some stuff. So on a failed save, they take the radiant damage and they're blinded until my next turn. On a successful save, they take half damage and they're not blinded.
All right. And do I have it set up about what you would like?
Yeah.
I basically copied it and put it in the zone so that we can get an approximate idea.
I'm going to avoid Vlad, which I'm pretty sure I can. Erigal, accidents happen.
Yeah.
Oh no, Victor, don't.
All
And
right.
if you shoot that way,
So it is a con save, which he has advantage on. Let me do Strahd first, since he's got that advantage on con saves. He failed that one in spite of advantage.
Yeah.
All right, so he took 28 radiant and is blinded. That's interesting.
Yep, till my next turn.
Ah!
you see this ball of mist just bounce into the wall and be like, ugh, oh.
I'm picturing like his vision just becomes like a complicated like kaleidoscope with
Yeah.
like
White.
sunlight going through water vapor.
Yeah, he's just seeing the mist with sunlight reflecting off of the droplets. Yep. All right, con save for Erigal, who... what was your DC?
17.
He failed it, so he took the 28 and is blinded.
Rip.
Oh no, Argyle, we're so sorry.
I moved
Oh, wait,
Strahd
was it-
for
oh,
a
no.
moment,
Ducking
I could
wouldn't have
get
helped.
to him.
Like legitimately, he actually probably could. He hurts a lot. Probably not right now with the mist form, but he is a sneaky rogue.
Well, no, I meant Arigal because Mink.
That's what I'm
made
saying.
him- Yeah. Or is he trapped inside that stone shaped box?
No,
That was canceled.
Okay, I
didn't realize the dimensions of everything.
sorry, my roommate had to tell me about what was going on with her mom.
You're
Her
fine.
mom dislocated her shoulder.
Aw.
Woman's 4 years old.
We're trying to focus on this, so stay focused. All right, so both of them there are blinded. The bats, we have 2 bats. I'm just going to do 1 con save for both bats, up or down, to make it faster. Con save on the bats, and they failed, and then con save on the rats. And they failed. All right, so basically everything on that side of the room is blinded and took a bunch of damage. There are now a lot of dead rats and bats laying on the floor. And that...
Victor just thinks like Earth, doesn't it?
Oh, as a matter of fact, you killed off the last of the rats there. That one was not affected. This one, all right. For the bats, they will not be affected by blindness. They use echolocation. But the rats would have been if they were still alive, but they died. All right, so, and does that beam remain? Is it concentration?
No, but I still have it and can shoot it again.
Okay. So it's it's like a light.
Yeah, I just have like light kind of bleeding out of my mouth in between rounds, and
A strobe.
when it is my turn and I do my action, there's just a brief beam of light.
And let me take just a moment now that we have most of the videos up that are going to be, which aren't all that many tonight, and let me rework the videos as seen on screen. Just a moment, I will be silent for a second.
I'll just. Gordon knows what I'm talking about.
I do. By the way, you have 3 more souls to sacrifice by the end of the week, or you're fired!
And OBS is being nasty, and we've decided to pick up a whole bunch of things instead of just the one that I wanted.
Sorry.
It is not your fault.
I showed up late. It is my fault. I'm so tiny with my adorable voice. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
You're fine.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
And we don't have Monarch, but I need to get Brett's picture. Let's see, get the picture off. Oh, you're sort of where you belong. I can't believe it. All right, now. Same for Kyle, and now Mike, and hopefully we will have at least somewhat functional, even if it's not quite centered. Yes, all right. We can see what videos we've got now. All right, so let me transition that over. And we can see your beautiful faces, and I will take it off of the double screen so that I can see things better. All right, back to where we were. We are up to Rumble Tumble Tea.
Right, I will be taking a look at these bats. And I shall... Was I? Oof. I'll spend a key and punch again. The bonus action.
Okay. And so let's see, you're hitting the bats that have, yes, all right, so all but the 11 hit. So you did 8, 17, 28, 34 damage to those. 34 bats fall out of the air.
Only 34.
As a vampire, Victor is compelled to count each bat.
Do it right now. 1.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
boy.
But I'm in contact with them as well. There you
Victor barks and taps the ground 34 times.
go. Little shaking leg. He's a happy
Oh
dog.
god. Yeah.
Alrighty. Is that all for our monks' attacks? Because sometimes they have a lot of them. The monk is done?
Yeah, sorry, I'm done, yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
Aragal, I'm going to give him another wisdom roll here because of what just happened. He's rolling rather well in the wisdom department tonight, which is possibly good or possibly bad. I'm not sure which. But he decides instead to back away from the mist that is Strahd to get his distance. He is just like feeling his way around, and he only can move a very small way. Strahd does not attack him. However, the bats do when they feel him moving past them. He takes 4 piercing damage from one side and another 4 from the other side. Let me double check his armor class. Can't grab the one I want. There we go. Yeah, alright, so he took 8 more damage. Alright, Sylvia, your turn.
Okay. Let's see. I can't really get away from the bats without taking an attack of opportunity, because we can do one thing. Okay, is it possible for me to disengage? I don't. My brain is not working on that level right now.
You can disengage as an action, and they do not get an attack of opportunity.
Alright, just double checking to see what I can do as bonus actions. Sorry, I had like 4 different plans worked out in my brain, and all of them are just basically going like, no, that's not working, that's not working, that's not gonna work, don't do it. Yeah, I'm gonna just disengage and move over to about here so I can still see line of sight through the bars, but be closer to Emil.
Okay, and let me put something up so it can be seen on the turn order.
About here. Granted, that won't mean I won't be able to see Duroc as well as I was from that spot, but Duroc's a big boy, he can handle himself.
Okay, I've added the swarm of bats to the turn order, and what else is Sylvia doing? Just disengaging, that's it?
Disengaging and going to get Emil's attention.
Okay. He looks up at you, kind of cocks his head, wondering what you're doing. Duroc.
You coward! Get back here! And I'm going to chase after him.
And of course you'll get attacks of opportunity, one from rats.
They're rats and bats. I don't care.
Exactly. Let's see,
So
I've got to
that's
double
12.
check how many. That one's less than half, that one isn't. Alright, so on this one, it's that, and on this one, it's
22,
that.
32, 34. Yeah, that's still within 40.
Alright,
I run my way.
both of them
yep.
missed. Both of them missed.
Okay. Yep, I essentially just run right past Aragal, right into the fray of the other 2 bats, and I am going to attack him.
Are you
First.
attacking recklessly?
I am not, because he is still high enough health for me not to worry about that. What I will do, though, is I am going to cast my first spell, Blood Spear Raging. That would be a 21 to hit.
That's a hit.
Alright. And I will cast my second spell, Blood Spear Raging, for a 29 to hit.
But you're only allowed to cast 1 spell a turn.
I'm a barbarian. I can cast 2 spells.
Oh, that's true.
Oh my god. You use 2 barbarian spells, I swear to god.
If I was a berserker, I could cast 3.
You're terrible.
Or if you were dual wielding.
That's too many. Sorry, no. That's too many for my barbarian brain to handle.
Don't you
Pepperoni.
have...
Okay,
Here's more-
he has taken 22 damage. And anything else before we go on to swarming things?
I don't think I can actually do anything for... Oh, yes, I can. For my bonus action, since I'm already raging, I will use a bonus action to increase my... Oh. Actually, how far away are those bats? They are over 20 feet. I am going to set my spear ready for... Actually, the swarm of rats. If they get within 20 feet of range, or if they get within melee range, I can get a reaction on them. The rats that are up here.
Very good. I changed the name that can be seen on the turn order to just swarms rather than swarms of bats, because this refers to all the swarms that attack on that turn. All right. And the swarms will, let's see, this beam is not currently on, so let me put it on the GM layer to lighten it up, and they will fly in and attack on you there. The rats will run and attack Aragal from behind. So we have got, and I'm going to zoom way in on just that battle. Okay, so Aragal gets attacked by rats.
They do technically attack at advantage, considering he's blind.
It wouldn't make any difference. They rolled a 5 and a 4.
Fair enough.
And the bats attack, let's see, they are attacking, I guess the way it is right now, 2 would be attacking Dirok and 1 would be attacking Sergei. So the top 2 bats are attacking Dirok. So this one is less than half. So I need bats less than half. 18, what's your armor class?
Mine, 18. They hit.
Okay, so they did 2 piercing damage.
Let me double check quick. I'm fairly certain it's 18. Yeah, it's 18. So I take 1.
2, okay, yeah, you're raging, that's right. So you'll take 1.
I need healing.
Hello, Genji.
Are you serious?
The ones,
Mada, I need healing.
yes, the ones below you attack and do not hit, and the ones next to Sergei attack, and I think they're below half.
AC 21.
They're below, so they miss. All right, now down elsewhere in the
Beautiful place, I hear.
yeah, elsewhere. We have a swarm of bats attacking Monarch, and they are below half health, so we will see what they do. 21 to hit. Monarch, you have taken a grand total of 2 piercing damage.
Ow.
1 for each
My
side.
coat. My coat.
Not for him.
All right, we have finished with those swarms, and it is Strahd's turn, who is going to, let's see, he has to take another 20 damage.
And question on vampires: are we still doing the radiant damage reduces, or sunlight damage reduces the max HP, or are we doing it that he just doesn't regen?
He doesn't regen.
Okay.
So he has not been regenning from his vampiric abilities. However, from the side, as he begins to move again, you once again hear that same sound that you heard before. And the walls begin to vibrate, and the floors begin to vibrate in rhythm to a heartbeat sound. And as this happens, he seems to look just a little bit better in health. So I have to do 2 things here.
Really wish we had someone to cast, what's it called? Chill Touch on him.
All right, and he will move his 30 feet that he can get. It's actually, it's 40, it's 20 and 20 at dash, so let's see from here. He is going to try to dash. Okay, so you can get just about to there. Okay. And it is Epotus's turn.
Okay. We are going to just, and presumably I don't see the. I saw where the mist went.
Yeah, it went pretty much straight south.
Straight south. Okay. It's still within 30. Still within 30 feet. So I am going to compel duel it again. Get back here!
Alright, and that was wisdom save. Let's see if he has to use another one again.
Oh, baby, sorry.
$22.
Okay. Then he will. Would he be able to close the gap since this is a swarm and not actually filling up that whole space?
Yeah, you might have to kind of swing your head a little bit, but it's pretty much aimed at that.
Okay.
I won't bother with an attack of opportunity. It's the 2 points
Did he
is
take
perfect.
7 lightning from the booming blade I did on him?
Yes, he would. I forgot about the booming blade.
And then I'm going to just normal double attack with the sun.
That is not correct. I've got something went wrong here because... Oh, I know what happened. That should be... When I tried to add the effect from the heartbeat, it wound up going in as the number instead of as the actual addition of the number. All right, there we go. So you have attacked him with the Sunblade twice, right?
Yeah, 2 attacks. And presumably, if they both hit, I'm going to blow 2 third-level spell slots on it for Divine Smite.
They both hit. Okay, so we've got 32. You add it up. 32, 22.
Yeah, I'll add it up. Uh, 71 total radiant damage.
Purple.
And
Wait, say that number again?
71.
71.
Who needs the holy lightsaber?
So what happens when I hit twice? It's very rare that I hit an undead twice. Oh, actually, it's an additional 2d8 because he's undead. So
To every hit?
83.
Just another 22. Don't give me a new total because I've already taken the other off.
Okay.
Ouch.
All right. Emil will dash towards the side. He can see which direction he's heading, and he will dash over to here, trying to head him off. And it is Sergei's turn.
Sergey is going to leave the bats to Dirok and the rats to Dirok and Victor, and he is going to run his. I'm not quite. I wish I was a little bit. Just a little bit. So before I do anything, I have a question on. So Vlad was kind of an expert with, when it came to fighting undead creatures and such. Sergey is not Vlad, but you have said that some information would have bled over. Would Sergey know whether or not vampires are immune to disease?
Give me a survival check.
Oh, I'm okay with that.
Yes, he does.
So are they, or are they not?
That know whether he is immune to disease?
Yes.
Sergey would know that they are not immune to disease.
Okay, in that case, I am going to run my 30 feet up to him, passing, so I'll get an attack of opportunity from these bats right here.
$21 hits, I believe.
21 is my armor class, yes.
So you took 2 piercing damage.
I'm okay. I need healing, and he is going to cast Contagion on Sergey. Or on Strahd.
Wait,
There
you
you
said it.
At least I'm not getting Victor and Vlad confused anymore.
Yeah, you said it with Victor, I would have been mad.
So I have to make a melee spell attack against him.
Okay.
I'm going to assume a 14 does not hit.
It does not.
Would I have advantage because he's still blinded?
Yes. Yes, you would. Okay.
That's significantly better.
Yep, that hits.
Okay, so then I can affect him with one of these, and I am going to affect him with, which one is it? I just had it. Slimy Doom. The creature begins to bleed uncontrollably. It has disadvantage on Constitution checks and saving throws, and whenever it takes damage, it is stunned until the end of its next turn.
Okay.
And considering that he's in sunlight, he's taking damage every turn.
Yep.
On the start of his turn, at the end of each of his turns, he can make a Constitution saving throw to end the effects. If he fails 3, it's permanent for the next 7 days. If he succeeds in all 3, then the effect ends.
I don't think we have to worry about the next 7 days.
But he has disadvantage on those checks now, so...
Just remind me when they come up. I've got so many effects on so many characters that just remind me.
I think I did my cool thing for the night.
Yep, Victor.
And that is also not a concentration spell. So my turn's over.
It is Victor's turn.
Alright. So Victor is going to come running out. If I can position my token. There we go. So I'm going to get in a good position for it here. And then I'm going to shoot another moonbeam to the... I mean, not a moonbeam, sunbeam to the right to hit Strahd.
What direction are you aiming at since he's slightly above your head?
Kind of directly at him. I think I should be able to hit him without hitting anybody else.
So level, I'm saying, or are you angling it up slightly to get him? He would be slightly above your head because he's flying.
Yeah, so up to hit him. Because, basically I just want to hit him and not anybody else. And I guess if anybody's hiding way over here, I'd hit them.
Okay.
Alright.
So I won't move the thing. I've got too much else to do. So DC 17 con. He no longer has advantage on his con saves because of the other thing. So 17. He chooses to re-roll it and succeed.
Okay, that's fine. That's another one gone. Oh wait, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, he might have like 5 or something.
Okay, and
Well-
I'm going to use the rest of my movement to just get into melee range so I can hopefully... Or actually, he was immune to opportunity attacks, is that right?
Yes, in this form he's immune to opportunity.
Okay. Alright, well, I might as well get close anyway.
Alright, so he would have taken 10 damage, right? Is it half?
Correct.
Say?
And no blindness.
And I would Aragal's blindness be gone now?
Yes, as of the start of my turn.
Alright, Monarch, Rumbelow.
Under circumstances, I think I will. I think I'll just continue dealing with the bats. I mean, how intense is the swarm? Are they looking still quite thick, fast and thick,
No,
or?
there's not many of them left.
Alright, I'll just do a normal. I will do a barrage then.
Alright, that is 26 damage. Aragal curses from behind you and comes running out. And winds up taking attacks of opportunity from all around, but he's only thinking about Strahd at the moment. So, 3 of these, and 1 of these. He took 8, 3, 11 damage. Ariel's not looking in really good shape.
Already? Oh, I suppose he did get hit by the sunbeam.
And
Yeah.
he's just taking a lot of attacks of opportunity.
He will fire his bow at the mist. The mist is... No, there's too much in between. He's in full cover. So he's just...
Well, isn't the mist above us?
Yeah, but there's a POTUS, there's you, there's the bats, there's the mist that is flying about where the bats are. There's just no way he can crouch or stand to get where he can get a good clean shot at him.
Sure thing.
He just is frustrated that he can't do anything. Alright, so Sylvia,
Shoot at the bat.
that's true, he'll shoot at the bats. I'll have him shoot at the bats. Believe it or not, he missed the bats. How can you miss the bats? Oh well.
Because he's bad.
Bat. He's batty. It is Sylvia's turn.
Alright, since first attempt did not work out very well, I am going to... let's see. Didn't mean to just grab it. Hold on. Sorry, I'm making sure I have it like where I need to be. Yeah. I'm gonna make my way over to about here. Come on. And I'm assuming that because Mistform is not a person, and he's technically not a person, I can't stop him, the whole person, could I?
Don't worry about his movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can seep through a crack as big as an inch wide.
Okay.
Do apologise for my quietness, by the way. I am currently discussing jobs with about 3 different Chinese companies via WeChat, so I do apologise.
Oh,
And
you're okay.
I'll explain to the stream that he had a job all lined up, was completing his paperwork, and the company that he was all set to go to work for folded, and so now he's got to start all over again. So he's very frustrated.
Sorry to hear that.
Lynn?
Alright. Yeah. I guess I'm just going to firebolt the cloud.
Okay.
You have advantage on the attack roll.
It's a 17. I don't know how good that's going to be.
7. Oh, wait, you say that hits? Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right, and we're up to Dirok.
Dirok is getting angry that everyone is leaving all these bats and rats for him to deal with.
We just want you to have fun, Bo.
Yeah, I want to have fun killing Strahd, not rodents, not be pest control. So, I'm attacking this one, the 7 or 8 o'clock position bats.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit?
That's a hit, and 11 of them drop on the floor. There are still a few of them left.
I'll attack them again at 29.
Which hits and takes out the last of them.
And that ends my... Well, no. What is it? Bonus action, set my spear to 5 feet.
Okay.
And that ends my turn.
And we are up to the remaining swarms. The swarm on the south will attempt to attack Monarch. And it's got less than half. If they miss. The 2 on the north, 2 bat swarms on the north attack Dirok, and they're 1 of each. 17 and a 7, neither of those hit. And the rats... also miss.
All right.
Okay, and we are up to Strahd.
He is stunned. He cannot move. He makes a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage at the end of his turn.
All right,
Oh no.
Can he fall out of shapeshift?
Theoretically, stun says creature is incapacitated, which means he can't move, can't speak. Well, he can speak only falteringly. He automatically saves or fails strength and dex saves, and attack rolls against him have advantage. So he still has his action. He just can't move. However, he's also in daylight, so I don't know if he can shapeshift.
Yeah. First thing that will happen is that the pounding of the heart occurs again. But the pounding, you hear thump, 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 thump.
So it sounds like a starting.
Slowing down.
Thump, 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 and it stops, and the entire castle shakes so hard and you hear a squeaking come from above you. The entire ceiling takes flight.
They were bats.
In bats as the castle shudders horribly.
Told you all the castle was helping him. I told you.
It's fine.
Wars literally have ears and hearts.
It's fine. I'm already on pest control. I'll deal with those later. Maybe. I don't know. I don't see anything adding on or anything.
Shaking stops. He goes get this. All right, and you said at the end of his turn he will take a con save to break it?
At the end of his turn, he makes a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage to make one of the...
He will not make it at disadvantage. He will make it at straight, no advantage or disadvantage because he already has advantage.
Okay, so and if he succeeds 3 times, then the effect ends.
Why 3 times?
That's what the spell description says.
He has to make 3 con saves.
That's why this spell is so nasty.
Wow. Okay.
If he saves 3 times, the effect ends. If he fails 3 times, it's permanent for 7 days.
Okay, so there is squeaking from all directions as the ceiling takes flight and begins to look for the cause of what has disturbed them. That will come around on their turn, and he can't do much of anything. Yep. So his turn will end. Does he take all 3 in the same turn, or
no? He gets 1 at the end of every turn. So I have a guaranteed 3 rounds of this.
This guy is in trouble. That's a fail.
He can use his legendary resistances to automatically save,
but only 1.
But only 1.
Alright, now I gotta look at his secondary legends for just a moment here. I think that even that would be negated by your effect. I don't think it would affect. So, yeah, he's pretty much dead in the water here. You've pretty much got him penned in. So at this point, it's a POTUS's turn. You guys may be able to pull this off in the tomb.
I was here.
He just wailed on him. I was gonna do something else, but he's just like rage hacking.
I have never had more adrenaline. That's a crit, by the way, because he's stunned, so all attack rolls have advantage.
All right.
Does a 19 hit? Does a 19 hit?
They hit, but the question is not whether they hit, but let's see, 21, 31, 39. The mist dissipates and starts to float away towards the ceiling, but there are some limitations.
No, you're not going anywhere. And I'm gonna do a compelled duel as a bonus action on him.
I think he just reached 0.
Is he a creature that's still trying to move?
He attempts to dissipate the mist, and sunlight hits him, and you hear a distant wail, and then there is no sound, and the mist simply evaporates. Suddenly, the castle
I don't believe it.
shakes at its foundation. The entire building starts to shake, and things start falling off the ceiling, and old stuff starts falling.
I don't believe he's really dead. There's some sort of trick.
All of you give me a
Shush.
dex save.
A witch?
A dex save.
Yeah. Monk.
I invoked
Yeah!
Danger Sense.
But Riz don't give a damn. Gee.
That's a 10. Danger Sense.
Yeah.
Those of you
I'm just gonna go with it.
Those of you who rolled over a 12 did not take any falling damage from the things.
Debris.
The debris, yep, thank you. The rest of you took 1 damage.
Does it look?
So
Does
how
it
do you
look-
how do you have 1 damage?
You don't.
Take 1
In
damage.
your case, you don't.
It's a death of 1,000 cuts, Gore. You will die eventually.
Mada, I need healing.
So does it look like the ceiling is still coming down?
No, eventually the shaking stops and things steady down. You notice that a number of these tomb doors are ajar, but you, other than that, you don't notice anything. There is, however, one sound that seems completely out of place. From far in the south, sounding like it's coming from one of these 10-foot tombs, you hear an eerie squeal or scream that sounds like a horse's scream.
What about the bats and rats that I'm facing? Are they still there?
They swarm towards the circular stairs, which are, let me zoom out so I can show you where they are. They all swarm towards this area down here. I'll gather them up so you can kind of follow. Let me take the dynamic lighting off so you can see the whole thing now. All right. All the bats swarm to this stairwell, which is here, and they swirl up the center of it, which is empty. It's a circular staircase, and they all swirl upward, squeaking and screaming as they go. These shrill shrieks of bats, shrieking off into the night as they go.
So they seem to be retreating.
Yes.
Even the ones that are up by me?
Yeah, all of them do. We'll leave.
I hear a horse screech, so I'm going to telepathically talk to Zatra and see if she's still in existence.
Zatra will kind of sleepily wake up. Zatra is had been standing rather sleepily in Valaki. She asks you what you want. Are you going to give a response or say anything?
Who?
Are you going to say anything to Zatra?
Oh, are you alright?
I was sleeping is the kind of pictures that you get back. She was like kind of opening her eyes and wondering why you were calling. She kind of looks around wondering if you were there.
No. Go back to sleep.
Okay, you continue to hear this scream, and now you hear thudding of what could be hooves against stone. Thud! Thud! Thud!
just to clarify as well, because there's still bats and rats on my portion of the screen. Those are gone now.
The rats
Or
would probably be there, but they would probably dissipate and run off into holes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I start moving around.
There's nothing attacking you now. No, they all went up the chimney, shall we say?
I would make my way past Aragol through the stone shape area and look around. What happened? Where is he? Where's the devil?
I think he's gone.
Sunlight for the wind.
We broke his form as he was trying to escape. And as he tried to flee, he hit direct sunlight. And then he was no more, and the building shuttered and all the bats fled.
So it's over.
It's over.
Sorry, I was talking with my sister. Are we out of combat order? Okay. Vlad is. What?
We were having a moment.
Sorry,
They're in RP. Yeah, just let them RP. They're doing RP. Hold on.
Finally.
He sheathes the sun sword.
And I'll just hold on to my spear, just let it rest against my shoulder. I'm looking around, making sure everyone's still alive, still moving around.
Now, I will say that Sergei will recognize the staircase that the bats flew up as being the only access point from the chapel down to here. He actually remembered that as being the only way down to the tombs. All the other entrances were new to him. But he knows where the bats went up, that it is an exit out, and it goes up to the chapel, and then up to towers above that.
Okay. In that case, he is going to, while Epotus and Duroc are talking, Sergei is going to, let me see the range on this. 60 feet. So while the bats are escaping and Epotus and Duroc are talking, he's going to run. This should theoretically all be within one round. Now it wouldn't. But he's going to run his 30 feet over to, or he's going to run over to within 60 feet of the stairwell and cast Flame Strike at 7th level.
I'm actually going to do hold person on Sergei before he can get too far.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a now 1. What? I'm held.
Okay. And I wonder why the disappearing bats were being flame struck, but yeah.
Just because so that they don't cause a problem later.
Victor turns from kind of sniffing the area where Strahd dissipated suspiciously. He turns to, just look at Sylvia. His lips kind of twitch back over his fangs. He's not sure what to make of the situation.
You've already got a mark on him, excuse me.
I mean, honestly, didn't something like this was bound to happen? Maybe, who knows? Hey, Emil, why don't you come help me get back to that one teleportation room, please? And I'm going to use suggestion on Emil.
Yeah, you don't even.
Oh no, guys, she's gonna turn into a T-Rex.
He's willing. It doesn't fail.
We're going to make sure something happens, and I just don't want them running off to, I don't know, get hurt. So, shall we leave?
Sylvia, what are you doing?
What I came here to do.
What is that?
Girls.
Put together a very solid ending for a story. Come, Emil. And I'm gonna turn and head back in the direction we came from to start going towards the orb room with the teleportation.
She thinks she can just take a meal to go.
You're fucking cheeky son of a-
All right. What is the situation with the trap?
I'm sorry?
It's still there.
I mean, I'm gonna make my way around it. I remember seeing Duroc set it, so.
Okay.
How long is the duration on hold person?
1 minute.
Concentration up to a minute.
Okay.
I'll figure that eventually you come unglued as she's walking out and they're heading back down that low ceilinged hall.
It can't be over. It wouldn't be that easy. Sergei is going to follow Sylvia and Emil.
Alright. Aragol follows after you two, very curious, watching what's going on. He's giving you all the eyeball.
I'd probably be going in right after Aragol then.
Let's
Victor
see
doesn't
here.
like this, but he'll follow the lead of the others.
I'm not even gonna look at them. I was like, you don't have to follow me. Okay, something's wrong with the lighting for everything. Every time I try
had
to
to
adjust.
reload.
Reload it. It
Yeah.
gets
Okay.
rid of the dynamic lighting.
Okay, because the dynamic lighting was like stuck on like the scrolling option. I'm like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
No, it's just painted on the screen.
It's
Yeah.
just your monitor. You'll be fine.
It's Strahd's true revenge.
He destroyed
Fumble
roll 20.
there.
So, from a GM standpoint, did we manage to actually kill Strahd?
Believe it or not, you killed Strahd because he was in daylight.
What? I did nothing.
I was,
You said they
I was-
needed me. They did not.
Well, we kind of needed you to travel.
I was waiting. I didn't want to blow it. I was waiting for you to get outside the castle for something to happen. But yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
I look back since Apotus is not following.
I'll just toss. It's like, you do know he's most likely cursed right now, and you probably should go take care of him. You don't need to follow me. I am the least of your problems.
The way you're talking like that, though, makes me think otherwise.
I also don't really have much of a voice. I also really don't have much of a voice either. So
That's
I
true.
can't really-
It's making you sound
you-
much more mischievous than you
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you sound like a villain. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, your
We
voice
have
makes you sound
something
like a
to-
villain right now.
We have
Cast
some
suggestion, hold person, and you literally sound like Strahd has possessed you and you're about to do something evil.
Chamomile. We have something to take care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you.
Well,
You
she's
cannot
gonna
be that.
kind of need. She kind of needs someone to make. I think the trap, that one false floor trap thing, was in between, where they are and where the teleport room was. So she needs him to get over. And she did make that promise to bring him back. So that's why she's keeping to that promise.
Well, I will say, Seeley, there are other ways out of the castle now.
Yeah, we could go up the chapel. There is stairways in the room of the tomb that leads up to the chapel.
Would Sergei have mentioned that there is the stairway up to the chapel that he's told them about?
He's mentioned Icely before that there is a stairway into the chapel from where they are, or rather, he's mentioned that there's a stairway into the crypts from the chapel where they are. But he hasn't said that that is the specific stairway.
Yes, I mean, like, Y'all are leaving you're following me, and you're leaving a POTUS alone. I think that the two of us, you should be paying more attention to him.
He's not Vlad anymore, though.
No,
I
no,
don't care
meant
about
the
a
POTUS.
POTUS.
I'm talking about a POTUS. I'm talking
Sergey
Duroc.
doesn't care about a POTUS.
I'm talking Duroc, though. I'm talking the people who actually do know a POTUS and do care. Because apparently you're ready to flip the switch so fucking quick. Mr. I don't read a book.
But yeah, no, I said I turned around to look at a POTUS.
Yeah, no. I heard that part. I was just,
Okay, well, the group of you, we'll be running out of time here before long, and you've got victory almost in your grasp, so let's move along.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at a POTUS. What is the POTUS doing?
He's just looking at the spot where Strahd was, and if is Monarch still there?
Yeah.
He can just hear him muttering, just, "I did it, Alex. Blood."
He's talking, for the audience, he's talking under his voice to Alex, who was killed back about halfway through the campaign.
I walk back over to a POTUS. I'm just looking at him.
The castle, after having shuddered and thrown bricks at you and everything else, is now just deathly quiet. There is just nothing but just like kind of weak echoes of sound off in the distance. Nothing seems to be stirring.
We should leave.
It is over, gentlemen. There's nothing for us here anymore.
And he looks over at Monarch, just says, "There's not really much out there either." And he shifts back and looks at Duroc and says, "Which way are they going?"
Back towards the trap rooms.
Fine. Do we know where his coffin is?
Vlad knew.
Also, I will remind you that you have not actually inspected Sergey's.
Right here. You mean in here?
Yeah, up there.
POTUS follows after Monarch.
Yeah.
I'll follow.
When you come up, Monarch probably would have to kind of crawl up on one of the ledges of the marble.
Oh, a little leap, I'll be fine. A little leap.
Yeah. When you look into the coffin, you see a fairly young man, probably around 30, who is laying there. He looks like he is just asleep. He doesn't look like he's dead at all. He is laying there in some of the most silvery, gleaming armor you have ever seen, and he looks just exactly like Vlad.
POTUS looks at Monarch and then looks at Duroc.
There you go. Is he dead? I wasn't doctor before all this. Inspecting.
Is he dead? With that 20 medicine?
I bring him back.
He does the court. Vlad, give me a constitution roll. Just a roll, please, not a save.
Vlad?
Now one!
Nice.
Story narrative.
You stagger backwards and sit hard on the floor as it seems to flood over you. And suddenly you have the combined memories of both Sergey and Vlad.
Oh. So now you remember everything.
Sylvia.
Did Sylvia come?
Sorry-eyed.
Sylvia's still down the tunnel, I think.
Well, no.
Yep.
Vlad was with Sylvia.
Well, Sergey was,
Okay.
etc., etc.
All right, so Vlad,
Sergey was.
wherever you were, you got knocked on your can wherever you were. You didn't know this
So it
spell
was-
thing was being done, but yeah, it knocked you on your can. But the corpse in the tomb does not stir.
It was Victor, Emil, Aragal, and Sylvia who were all, and myself, of course, who were all together. So they probably would have all heard the clank as I fell on my butt.
Yeah, you don't know what happened. You just know that something, a massive effect of some kind, washed over you, and you don't know what it was.
Sylvia, Victor, I'll be back. And he gets up and takes off back towards the crypt.
What? Let me get the status of the various sunlights, etc., that are going on right now. Victor, I need to know what. Are you still in wolf shape at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, and POTUS, what will your sunlight radius be?
He has a sun sword sheathed, so it's 0.
All right.
That coin in the tomb is still actively sunlight.
This is Sergei's body. That's Vlad's body. He's infected, my friend.
Running back.
It-
Clunk, 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 clunk,
It's-
clunk, clunk, clunk.
It was reincarnation. It's not infection.
It's infection. He had his time.
His time was taken away by his brother.
He had his chance, and then he took Vlad's.
It is neither one's fault. It was the devil's.
One could apply that to the entirety of this entire realm.
I'm
I wonder if the fog's cleared.
gonna insight check POTUS.
Okay.
Oh, and I accidentally exited out of my
And a POTUS,
stat
you
sheet.
give him a perception in response to the insight? Is that what you do?
Well, I'm a 3. I'm trying to figure out
Status.
what his intention is right
I
now.
don't think it's physically possible for Durak to beat that.
No, it's not.
So he just has a very blank face, it looks like.
Well, I never put my spear back, but now I'm like, it's not resting on my shoulder anymore.
You hear clank, 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 clank coming from the hallway where everyone left.
He has to die.
Move your token so we know where you are.
How far, at full speed, movement and dash, everything, how
You're
far
not in-
would...
You're not in combat.
Yeah, it's narrative time. Yeah, forget that stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, well, at full movement, how close would Sergey be then at this point?
Yeah, eventually you would get up to the group. I mean, you're not in
Yeah,
combat.
just walk in there.
I
You can see
push a
him run.
POTUS.
You can see him run past the grates, run around the hole he made. What happened?
I'm pushing the POTUS. You don't get to make that decision.
Who are you to stand in my way?
Victor has
I
realized
am
that
Durak, and I will always stand in your way if you make dishonorable decisions.
Here we go. This is the...
Dishonorable.
Ivduminta exi hypotis.
You don't get to say that name.
Vladislav Kiltazyara. I remember everything. What did you do once we left?
We looked at the corpse and
He'll,
I examined it, gentlemen.
he'll
And yes, he's quite dead.
slowly walk in between Durak, in between Apotis, coming up to look down at the corpses.
I still have my hand on my spear. And I am eyeing POTUS like a hawk.
He's going to reach down into the what's it called? The coffin, I guess.
and just kind of touch the cheek of Sergei's corpse.
You would also very clearly recognize the armor as being yours, Sergei's armor, and you know that it is imbued with magical properties.
Victor is going to decide to move from this group of shady people to the other group of crazy people. Also because everybody suddenly went nuts when Strahd seemed to die. He decided that everyone must have somehow inhaled Strahd and stopped breathing.
I was nowhere close to that today. Let's see your gut.
Yeah, vampire coke.
Excuse me.
And
I
he's
would
just gonna watch
theorize.
the bars just in case some chaos breaks out.
I would theorize that there is a much more deeper connection between Sergei and Vlad than we would warrant. There is a likelihood that a relative will look similar to you in a bloodline, but not like this. These two men are exactly the same.
Because these two men are the same. Sergei Vlad. What is the name you came?
Vlad Gay.
Vlad Gay. Vlad Gay looks at Apollos and says, I don't know what happens, but I have the memories of both Vladislav and Sergei.
And Epotus reaches up to like grab both sides of
He allows it.
Sergei Vlad's whatever's face and is like staring at him.
Yes, do it.
He puts one hand up on the gauntleted claw of Apollos and says, I remember everything. The Dawnwatch. And the promise I made to you about Alex. We need to
And
find-
Epotus just collapses to his knees.
I
Sergei
still have my spear ready.
Vladgay will kneel next to him and put a hand on his shoulder. We need to recover his corpse. But he is not lost to us forever.
Who knows what bringing him back in this godforsaken place would do.
Not in this place. Come. Let us return to Valak. Well, I suppose the others are gone, actually.
Let's stick with the others.
Once we all gather up, I can take us back to Valaki rather quickly. One moment, though, if you will. I would like to gather my belongings. And Vladgay will begin taking the armor off of Sergei's corpse.
It is +2 plate armor.
Full of spiders. Full of...
Put it down!
No, that's the magical effect. That's the trade-off. You get the +2 armor, but it feels like it's full of spiders constantly.
He smashes one, and it turns out to be a mom spider, and a million more babies.
Oh no!
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so gross.
After, I guess, 10 minutes of removing his own armor down to his person clothes, which are, at this point, very dirty, very warm.
No, you mean you mean what you're wearing?
Vladgay, yes.
Okay, Vladgay, yeah. Sergei is in absolutely perfect condition. His clothes, everything. Something has maintained him.
Victor doesn't entirely understand what's going on, but he sees Vlad kind of stripping down in the room with the others, and he's like, he's just wondering if he should leave.
After seeing the bromance between Apotus and Vladgay, yeah.
Is this how you restore morale among the Dawnwatch?
I am a life cleric.
I'm so glad I'm not here for this.
I mean,
Anyway,
I won't lie. I mean, Victor has a point. I mean, I literally have a boyfriend. I do think this is a little gay. Even by my standards, and those standards are pretty gay.
Anyways,
but Vladgay will take off.
Learn something new about Apotus every day.
Vladgay will remove his own.
But no, it was a sweet
regular
moment. It was a very good moment. Very sweet.
Dawn,
Very good moment.
Sergei's
This is for joking.
mail. I assume it's very shiny and glimmery, very heroic.
Very, yes. Extremely gleaming.
And then put his own plate mail back onto Sergei's corpse. And then says, "Come, let us go find the others. Thank you for your patience while I changed."
Now,
You
there's...
now
I'm
look
still
truly
stancing
like a
towards
hero in
Dakota.
shining armor.
Well, gentlemen, it may be a bit rusty as a lawyer, but under the rules of Ascension, this technically means, I believe, Sergei is the rightful heir to the kingdom.
Vlad.
I am neither.
Sergei, Vlad, either. They're both the same individual at this point.
Sergei and Vlad are both dead. And they both live.
Aragol, are you coming out of the tomb area, or are you still in there?
Sergei, or Vlad Gay rather, is going to be leading leading the march out of the tomb. Yes, he will go over to the lever, pull it to raise the port,
Okay.
and then lead the march out. Because this entire time we've been going around through the hole I made in the wall, and then he will lead the march out of the tomb. Yeah.
Victor just lets Sergei Vlad pass by.
I would have, at this point, by the time they've already walked back, I would have double timed it down that hallway just as an FYI.
Oh yeah, you would have gone. We're assuming you're not just standing there being a creep.
Gone. Nope.
All right, now what was your plan for getting across?
Oh, I just wanted Emil to assist Sylvia to get across that trap door. I wasn't going to take the chance of her falling.
Emil is going to yeet Sylvia across the door.
Pretty much. Sylvia's light. He can carry her.
Throw your bard.
Do we want to check up on that horse
So-
sound? Maybe it's Strahd's nightmare thing.
I want to get this straight. You're okay with a werewolf throwing Sylvia across the thing,
Oh, no,
but you're
he's
not okay with
He's
Dira.
going to carry her, dude. He's not going to throw her.
Princess
Well, I could have
Karen.
done the same
She's
thing.
She's worried if Duroc throws her, she's going to get broken.
I could have done the same thing. You could have just asked.
Like Nat 20. Well,
So what you're saying, though, is that Sylvia needs a meal to throw up. There are support groups for this.
no. Oh, God. You guys are, like, harping on all the wrong focal points.
All right.
Anyways.
So to make a long story short, do we assume you have decided you're all going back to the psychedelic room?
I'm going back to the psychedelic room, and I'm going to take the orb that says it leads to the Master's. Is it the Master's tomb or Master? The one that was supposed to be the gateway for Strahd. It's coffin.
I will assume that you make it across. I'm not going to go through all the rolls. And you guys
I'm wary of it.
are now back in. You find yourself back in the room with the rainbow of swinging orbs and the brazier. And below it is the quote.
Something does slightly trouble me here. We did discover the extent of Strahd's obsession, but one doesn't simply gain that amount of power from being obsessed. Something gave it to him. Something gave him this.
Yes, we discovered this source while we were in the Amber Temple.
I think it's the yellow that I'm supposed to throw in there. So it's pretty much just, wait for me here, and she's just going to take the orb and chuck it.
Oh,
You are
Team Fancy Pants.
all right. So Sylvia disappears. What are the rest of you doing? The sands begin to flow down from the top of the hourglass into the bottom, and they are colored yellow at the moment.
Alrighty. I'm still keeping an eye on the POTUS.
I'm going in regardless of what they do, so.
I will deal with what happens with Sylvia in a moment.
No worries.
Before, as Victor said, we should probably investigate what that horse wine was after we killed Strahd.
Well, that means we have to go all the way back.
Are we all here?
I think I was just.
I assumed we all went in after her.
Yeah, I assume
She had a pretty
you
big
are
lead.
all in the. I said in the interest of speeding this up, you're all in the psychedelic room. What you do in the psychedelic room has not been decided. Sylvia's gone. She threw a yellow orb in, and yellow is flowing out of the sands of time above the brazier.
I would join Sylvia if she'd allow me.
You have to wait.
It's one way. Yeah.
Yeah. So I assume I can't then.
Vladgay is going to cast Sending, targeting Sylvia, and says, "What happened? Are you all right?
And Sylvia.
Do you see the coffin?"
And I will tell Sylvia without showing you anything at this point. Yes, Sylvia, you see a big coffin, very dramatic, similar to what you saw with Sergei's. You see a lot of other things in the area where you are, but you don't at this point know exactly what they are that you're seeing.
Okay, where's my sheet? So seriously, that my sheet had... Oh, my sheet closed, I have to refresh the screen. I believe I can detect magic, so I'm going to do that real quick.
It's a good question, because I was wondering whether or not he just returns to his coffin. Where everyone was getting all emotional, being RP and stuff.
You are able to tell that the western and eastern alcoves of this area are radiating strong auras of conjuration magic. And the central alcove that you can see, there's similar alcoves to like what Sergei had, doesn't have any magic in it. There are there's apparently not only the main tomb, there appears to be some other tombs in this area, and there is a portcullis you are in a room to the south of a portcullis, which gives you the feeling that probably you are on the south end of the tomb area. You can hear a horse squealing and pounding at stone to the north of you.
I'm going to open the portcullis, and I remember that the stone has X amount of time to work. So I'm going to set the canisters I've been carrying with me since we entered, and I'm going to use Firebolt to start lighting the fuses.
So
and I'm gonna make sure that one of them is inside the casket when I set them off.
Okay, so you're basically setting explosives.
Pretty much. These are the same. These are why I had them requested to be easy to use.
Come on, let your explosives burn.
Shift over here on my side one so that I can make sure I can describe everything that you need to see. And I've gotten everything. I don't want to leave anything out that's important. What you can see is the big main coffin. It's not a stone coffin. It's a wooden coffin above it on a beer dais kind of thing. The three alcoves in back, which radiate these magic senses, and there are three. You are on earth rather than granite here. Your feet are standing on earth, and there are three mounds on the eastern side of this rectangular tomb area that look like they are burial mounds of where someone has been buried. So you have three alcoves you could set these in. You have three graves where you could set them, and then you have Strahd's grave, and you say you have already raised the portcullis?
Yeah, that would be the first thing I'd do just in case the stone doesn't yank me back to that room.
And I'm looking
because the portcullis is on the south side, correct?
The portcullis is on the north side of this room. It's like a mirror image of the one that was.
Okay, yeah, so it would be leading me back. Okay. I thought you said something was trying to break in through the north. That's why I was confused.
Okay. So, and so you have set these things. What are you going to do over, say, the next 5 minutes? How long will it take for these to go off?
She probably set them to be going off in a minute. So if it's gonna take 5 to pull her back, she'll start making her way out the newly opened door. But before she goes, she'll take whatever oil things that she has to help light campfires or candles or whatever, and she's just going to start covering the room in oil. So whatever little fun sparks start catching everything.
It doesn't feel like you are being pulled back to the room. There isn't any sensation of anything pulling you back. And when you walk up the stairs and out of this tomb area, you are faced with the very familiar row upon row of 10-foot square tombs. You are in the tomb area. And to your right, just to the north of you and to the right, is where the sound of this horse screaming is coming from and pounding against stone.
And then for my last magic trick, I'm going to summon Bigby's hand to use as a blast shield if needed.
All right. Depending on how you're going to, let me put you back, just you. Well, I'll just put the whole crew back. What the heck? Put you all back so you can see the kind of thing we're talking about, because that is on there. I'm going to move your tokens down to the bottom, or the rest of you can move them down to the bottom. I'm going to put Lynn down at the very bottom of the map. Sylvia, I mean. The rest of you can move your tokens down to the bottom if you want.
Here.
Yeah,
probably be about.
Okay.
Sorry, leaving and whatnot. I'd probably would take some shelter like right here, using Bigby's hand as like a blast shield.
Okay. The screaming horse sound is coming from here.
Oh shit! I'm bad with directions. This would have been the spot then. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't have gone towards the sound. So.
All right. I don't know what the magnitude of the blast is or anything, but I would assume you would get back far enough. There would be a pretty thick wall, like a 10-foot section of earth between you and it. And eventually, when these go off, all the party would feel again another shaking of earth. Sylvia, you need to give me a dex save.
Woohoo! My sheet. Where's my sheet? Do. I think I'm okay.
Yep, you managed to dodge all the loose bricks and things, but you can tell there's a large likelihood that this may start coming down. Things are starting at this point to look very unstable.
You just broke my castle.
Well, you know, that bottom thing was a bad news bearer, so we're just gonna make sure it doesn't get opened.
Oh, this place is cursed to high heaven. No way.
Yeah.
I can
hell no.
it.
Okay, so what's Sylvia gonna do now that she's in a very unsteady subterranean tomb area?
Kind of wonder why the hell the thing isn't pulling her back yet, and then she's just going to, I guess, book it for the hallway.
It doesn't teleport you back.
How did you get pulled back? Yeah, because you got pulled back.
He had to do something else, and Strahd was involved in the mix because he wanted Sergei in his house to destroy him.
Oh.
I got teleported in via other means.
Yeah, see, that wasn't something she was aware of. She's going on the assumption it would pull her back.
Are you telling me she did something maybe perhaps a little stupid?
Yeah.
As is tradition.
Right.
Going based off of what she understood.
But I'm trying to, we're at the hour where we're going to have to end before long. So I'm trying to get this moved along. What is Sylvia going to do? Are you going to go up the chapel stairs? Are you going to try to jump across the track on your own? What are you going to do?
No, I'll surfboard Bigby's up the chapel steps, because it's the closest way to up.
Okay. So you go up, you are upstairs. I will tell you that when you step out into the chapel area, the windows of the chapel faced east. There are broken remnants of stained glass windows in them that clearly represented Lathander and the Dawn facing east. And through the remnants of those stained glass windows, what strikes Sylvia's eyes as she finally climbs out, she has to kind of climb over rubble to get through and up there, is a brilliant sunrise just cresting the mountains to the east and streaming into the chapel.
I'll finally reply back to Vlad Sergey's little sending message and go, "Hey guys, you may want to find a window."
Sylvia says to find a window. Come, let us. I guess we don't need this teleportation circle anymore. Let us go to the chapel.
You'll have to go back down that hall now with the trap
Is that-
to get to the chapel. Now your only way out
Nope.
safe is up the other way.
I'm going back towards the desecration room to grab the dragon skull.
Yeah, can we go back up through the desecration, then go around to the chapel?
Well, you could get there eventually. It's the long way around. This is not the short
I'll
way
help you
around.
out with that.
Okay. So you guys go up the stairs into that bone room. Let me pull the... I'll just describe it at this point. You go up into... You are able to easily find your way back through the Chamberlain's office and down into the bone room from there, south of the Chamberlain's office. And you had dropped the dragon skull off the wall. It is still laying there on the floor.
Yep. I go to grab it.
Leave
Alright.
it for now. I can teleport us. Well, Sylvia can teleport us.
No, I can't.
At the very least, I can teleport us to Valaki.
We're not leaving it in this desecrated room any longer.
Very well. I will cast Guidance on Duroc, let him roll an additional d4, and I believe Epotus is helping.
Yeah, with
Sorry.
the two, I will say with the two of them dragging on some of the dragon's horns, you are able to wedge it through the 5-foot doorways and easily through the 10.
Yep. No,
and-
shift it this way, Epotus.
Oh, lift your back. I'm twice your age. You should be doing better than this.
Two men moving a couch. This is great.
That's exactly what I was trying to go for.
Damn it, that was my troll.
I was thinking Chuckle Brothers, but that's
Oh, no, no,
more
no.
American.
Epotus, pivot. Pivot.
I am pivot. Oh shit, the other direction.
Pivot.
I believe that's a meme from somewhere. I
Friends.
don't remember where though. That's what.
You get it with Sergei's help of how to get out of here as he recognizes these various things. You open the double doors that the dragon head used to be over, and you go out that hall and you see a terrified Cyrus huddled in a corner over by that portcullis into the storage room. He is weeping inconsolably over in the corner, and he sees you come out and he just turns away and huddles down, turns his back to you. There is a large stairway kind of opposite him, and you are able to drag it up that stairway to the level that rather quickly you recognize is the level you came in on.
I would have told Epotus to stop for a moment, and I'm going to pick up Cyrus, whether he wants to move or not. Don't worry, Cyrus. We're bringing you back to your
I
family.
can't hold the whole thing myself.
Vlad Gay takes Duroc's spot.
And rumbles because of the weight.
Oh, the rock.
I would have said, hey, put it down for a moment. Let me get Cyrus.
You come up some stairs. Let's see, when you get out of those stairs, I've got to figure out how you get out of here. Boy, this place is such a confusion.
If I have to, I will
stairs,
Kool-Aid Man
I would have
this.
You had so many easier ways out.
I will Kool-Aid Man this whole castle if I have to.
All right, so you come up there.
Stop poking holes in my castle.
All
It's
right.
not yours anymore.
When you come
Belongs to
up
Ash.
to the top of the stairs, you see although you assume from the counting how far you went up, you are probably on the entry level where you originally came in, the same floor as where Strahd met you at the organ. You are in a small room that has a door on the east and a window through which brilliant sun is shining.
I forgot to ask, is Aragol still with us? Okay.
I'm assuming Emil and the other one would have followed you once I disappeared.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I was just
you're
going to
all
say just with
you're
you.
all together.
Okay.
Vladgate looks at Aporis and says, "The Thunder and the Monitor both have returned to this place."
You know, this is a very sweet moment, but this is very heavy.
We need to find Sylvia so we can get it back to Valaki.
Yes, please.
Did you guys make it to the chapel yet?
No, we're going out the front.
Alright.
Actually, technically you're going out the back, but
Oh, okay, never mind, we're going out the back.
You mean
Is that where
we've hauled this damn thing the wrong direction? Son of a bitch.
Alright.
So you
Turn
open-
around!
if you open the door, I would assume you open the door and look out, and you realize you're looking out into like the back stable yard area of the castle.
Yep.
It's like, hey, check for horses to drag this thing.
Victor returns to his normal form, kind of cringing at the sunlight that he sees nearby. And he says, I need to point out a couple things. One, I need to get my donkey in my coffin. Two, any of Strahd's spawn are free now.
What left he had.
You know, it's true.
Can I say for the sake of time, since I sent that message, I would have made my way out, since I'm using Big B's to travel, and then started bringing stuff around to look for them.
You
Yeah,
would
and if we're-
hear them, the loud cursing and yelling at each other and so forth, near you, but you can't find a doorway that goes that way.
Well, I mean, there's a glass window.
Let me do something here. What I'm going to do, since we have to also do the finishing at Valaki, I think I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to place your markers on the actual map for next week. Sylvia in the chapel, you're both on the same floor. Just not able to get to each other. I'm going to place you both all on the floor where you are, so that you know what you've got, and you can negotiate where you have to go and how you're going to get out. And then we will complete the final ending of the story back at Valaki, hopefully next week, and decide for once and for all who's in charge of Barovia. But it looks like you guys have defeated Strahd, and with that, you receive your final level up of the game.
We'll put it to good use.
Enjoy!
Yes, we will, won't we, Apo?
We will.
You guys are
I have
so
no idea what you're talking about.
I still
Neither
want
do
to have
I.
it. I still want the battle royale at some point. In any
Okay.
case,
thank those who are tuning in on video or on stream. They have defeated Strahd! Yay! They finally did it!
Yeah. Don't mind my sweat marks. That was a lot of adrenaline going through me earlier.
I was trying to throw everything, but I'll tell you what, you had him so tied up with sunlight I couldn't do anything. So, yep. Anyway, thank you very much.
You leave Barovia and are immediately arrested for killing the rightful king, as this was a home invasion. And you're all just mad. You're all just mad. None of this happened. You're all just mad.
We're hauling the skull, and it's like the end of Monty Python.
Yeah.
Just the police come in.
Just start taking everyone away.
Okie doke. Alright, so we will see you next week. Thanks for watching us on video or stream. We appreciate it very much. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
I'll have my voice back by then. Yay.